All right. Hey, it's Alex. I'm going to be going over a few things like what documents do you need to submit a claim? What is a wellness benefit? Where to claim it? How to register on MyAflac. Once you get in, you need to set up your direct deposit and set up your Aflac Always. I'll also show you what the differences are between those because they're not the same. I did this claims help information session this morning at my local library, and I'm doing it every month on the first Saturday of the month. And you can join virtually or you can join in person at the library. So just make sure to connect with me, and so you can join if you'd like to join. All right. So let's go ahead and jump through here. So the first thing, my name is Alejandro Mancia. I do go by Alex. I'm starting my third year with Aflac as of right now, and I started my career in Idaho, and we moved here. We moved here to Durham, North Carolina, for my wife's job, and then we'll be here for maybe about 3 to 4 years. Who knows? I do have two kids that take up a majority of my time outside of work, and we're originally from San Antonio, Texas, so we like to go back to Texas every year and visit close family. So I did during this morning session. I did bring some small prizes, some quacking ducks. So if I end up doing a presentation for you in the business that you work with, usually I'll do a lunch and learn, and I'll give away some of those ducks for. So keep an eye out for those. And Aflac, it provides a great resource to help explain what's needed to file a claim, and I'm gonna show you how to get to that resource on the website. So first you go to aflac.com, just like that, AFLAC.com. And if you search in on Google, it'll probably show up the first one, but you want to make sure that you go to aflac.com, and I have it right there at the top on the URL. So once that pops up, you want to click on this claims, the file a claim, right? So we're gonna go to the next screen here, file a claim. That's where you want to click on. And when you get to the next page, you scroll down and you're going to look for this box right here that says, have questions, connect whenever you need us. Log into your account or chat with us. For step-by-step tutorials on filing an online claim, please see our claims checklist. So you want to click on the checklist link. So the next page, you're going to have, there's 9 different checklists provided here. Anything from accident, cancer, critical illness, dental vision, hospital, disability, life, and long-term care. And then there's also this last one that's a how to file a wellness claim. All right. So, and you can click on that, and it's going to bring up the actual checklist. So let's take a look at the accident checklist. And we're going to go into that a little bit. I have one pulled up right here. So on the accident claims checklist, looks like this. Some of this top information, it's pretty self-explanatory. You identify your policy. If you don't know your policy number, once you log in to your MyAflac, you'll see that. Your policyholder's name, that's you, date of birth, address, things like that. If patient's name and date of birth, like if you're doing this for your spouse or for your kids, you're going to need their date of birth. Important information, date and description of the injury, location of the injury, like geographically, and if it's something on the body, if there's an injury to the body, you want to know those things. And some of the definitions here are important to know because when you're asking for these types of documentation from the hospital, um, they may go by these terms, they may not, but like for instance, at a hospital, the itemized hospital bill is a pretty common document that they use to bill the insurance companies. It may also be called a UB04, itemized hospital bill statement. If it's outside of a hospital, sometimes like a doctor's office or an urgent care, sometimes they use this, the HCFA 1500. It's also called a health insurance claims form. And then if you don't want to have to gather these things, sometimes I'll just use this authorization to obtain information. Allows Aflac to request additional documentation on your behalf. So what I usually do with this one is I'll just print it, and I'll have the person that the policyholder that I'm helping, I'll have them sign it, and then I'll send it to the doctor's office or the chiropractor or to the urgent care, and I'll send it to them, and then they just send, most of the time they just send the documents straight to Aflac, and then I don't even have to deal with any of it. Preferably, I like them to send it to me because I can see if the documents there are going to send, if it will suffice, if it's actually going to get you paid. So, sending things to Aflac for a claim, the what you're looking for are proof of services. It's not necessarily like the only part that you see the word bill here is on the ambulance part. You don't send Aflac your bill. If you send them your bill, you're not going to get paid. Aflac doesn't care how much you paid or how much you didn't pay out of pocket. What they will pay you on are the proof of services. The very most important thing, in my experience, physician office notes is one. The second thing is going to be this IHB form or UB04, along with the hospital, the health insurance claims for the HCFA. Those things right there are going to give you the physician notes are going to tell a story. What happened to you? How did they treat it? Did you get a cut? Did you slip on the ice? Did you get in a car accident? These physician notes are going to tell a story and justify that it was an actual accident. Aflac's going to pay on the codes that are on this itemized hospital bill, the IHB or the UB04. Other things that sometimes may happen or may not happen, you may go to the emergency room. There's an urgent care report for that, or ER report. If you have a laceration, it has to show the length of that laceration. There's a burn. You need to know the measurements of that burn. Usually they're on those documents. Fractures, surgeries. If there was an ambulance that was involved, if you had a car accident and the ambulance came, took you to the hospital, ambulance bill and police report are very important to have. If there was a death involved, you need to have a death certificate and a beneficiary statements claims form. So those things right there that are all listed here, some of them you may have, some of them you don't. The top three, though, physician office notes tells the story, very important. The IHB or UB04 if you're a hospital, and then if it's not at a hospital, like an urgent care or regular office visit, the HCFA, like the health insurance claims form. Those things right there, very important to submit a claim. Okay, let's jump back over here. All right, so if we're in person, I would give somebody a duck for answering a question. But since we're not, let's jump through this one. How many checklists does Aflac provide? How many checklists does Aflac provide? Remember on this part, there's 9 different checklists here. This one's just a instruction on how to file a wellness claim. But the actual checklist, there's 9 different checklists. All right. So a wellness benefit, what is it and how do I get it? So a wellness visit, it puts money into your pocket for things that you may already be doing. It could be a dental cleaning, eye exam, mammogram, pap smear, various cancer screenings. And then there's 2 types of them. There's a accident wellness benefit. And a quick reminder as we go through this, the next few slides will show you how to access your policy via the website app, because your particular policy may have a different amount of the wellness benefit. So what I'm going to talk about here are just examples of what I've seen in the last couple of years. So on the accident plan, the wellness benefit is usually $60 from what I've seen, $60 per year per policy, and it's meant to encourage wellness checks, right? That could be an annual physical, an eye exam, a dental cleaning, just an immunization, things like that. And it's the ones that I've seen is $60, but it can range anywhere from 40 to 100 depending on which state you're in your policy. And so, like, say for instance, if you started your plan, this is per calendar year. So if you started your plan in October and you went to the dentist in November, First, you can submit the details on your dental cleaning on November 2nd and receive that money from Aflac. Then, when January comes around the next year, you still have your policy, that wellness benefit resets, right? If your spouse goes for a vision exam on January 15th, you can submit that information and get another benefit from Aflac for that year, for that following year. So going forward, every year you have that money coming back to you as long as the policy is active. I've helped people go back 5+ years to claim their wellness benefit, and and Aflac will still pay it. The best way, the easiest way that I've seen this, that I've done it for folks, is that I'll ask them, "Hey, look, do you go to the same dentist or the same eye doctor since you've had this policy?" If they say yes, then I do that claims authorization form and I send it over to the doctor and just get the report for all the 5 years at the eye doctor and then just submit that information to Aflac. That's if there's multiple years that we're going back, I'll do that process and it works out the best. So what a wellness benefit is not, it is not on the accident one. It's not per person. It's just per policy. And it's not a bad thing. Like Aflac, myself, we want you to use this wellness benefit for first because a lot of times it's just better for your general wellness. And then second, you actually have the policy that you actually use it every year. You remember that you have it. Okay. So, on the cancer policy also has a wellness benefit, and a lot of folks, they appreciate this because you get paid for it every time you go and get a cancer screening. But so many people that get cancer, they found out during their wellness check, during their annual wellness check. So it's just an incentive to encourage you to get that. You can go back previous years on this one as well. So, date of exam. So, how do you actually claim this wellness benefit? So, you're gonna need four things on this to be able to claim it. So, say we're not doing like the past 5 years. Say you just went to the dentist office last month. You want to submit for this year. You want to submit one, right? So, you need the date of the exam, the type of the exam, the doctor's name, and the doctor's address. So you're going to need the full address of the office to where you went, and then I have a video actually on the channel that shows me how I did mine through the website. So you can take a look at that, and you use those four pieces of information to submit on your MyAflac account, and make sure you set up your direct deposit before you do that. All right. So if there's any question on wellness benefits, make sure to comment below, and I'll reply as quickly as I can. So the next thing is registering on the Aflac website. So doing this can do four main things for you. First, you understand your coverage and benefits. Second, you're able to file claims and check the status of the claims. Third, keep your account current, like for instance, your personal information, your billing, and then you can actually choose how you want to pay Aflac, right? Say you don't want it deducted from your check anymore, you switch it to your checking account, you can do that. Then you can also choose how you want to get paid as well, right? You can set up your direct deposit, or if you like checks in the mail, you can do checks in the mail. We prefer direct deposit. Okay. So on this part, you're going to go to aflac.com, and instead of doing the file claim part, we're going to go over here. If you're on a desktop, you just move your cursor over it. It's going to have a drop-down menu, and you want to click on the part that says individuals. So once you click on the individuals, it takes you to the mylogin.aflac.com. That's like the exact URL that it's going to take you to. So it's going to look like this, and if you haven't registered before, you click register. And then on this part helps find your policy. You can search with your policy number, Certificate number and member ID, I believe, is like if you're part of like a larger company, like a 1,000 employee company, corporate company, they give you a certificate number. You don't have a policy number, so you can search it by that or member ID, and or this last one. This one's my favorite here: your social security number and your mobile number. And I like that one. I prefer that one because it's something that you already have memorized. You don't have to look for it at all, and most of the time you can find your policy with those two things right there. So after that, after it finds your policy, it wants to verify that you are who you say you are. So it's going to ask you for your personal information and enter your personal information right here. If you already have an account, it'll tell you to log in using your username, and it's going to show you what your username is. So if you have not registered before, it will ask you to create your username and password going forward. So that's like the next step to set up your MyAflac. And if you're unable to find your policies, it probably means that something that was entered in there could be your social, your email, your zip code, your last name, your date of birth. Something doesn't match with what Aflac has on file. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. Just get with me, like send me an email. At the end, I'm going to have a QR code that you can scan so that we can connect with each other via text. So make sure that we connect and I can help you make sure that your information's correct. All right, so now once you're actually logged into the website, this is what it looks like. It says, hello, with your first name. Mine is Alejandro, so it says, hello, Alejandro. And then now you're able to start exploring what the different options are. On the left side is kind of like your navigation. You're on the home and it's white up here. So if you click on new claim, it takes you to the new claim part, and then that turns blue, and then this turns white because you're on that section. So if it's white over here on billing, it's because you're on the billing page. So you can start exploring from there. All right, any questions on how to register on the website or the app? Make sure to leave some comments about that. If there's anything that I missed, go ahead and put it down there. All right, so once you've actually logged in into your profile, the first thing you want to do is click on your billing section and set up your direct deposit. You want to click on manage direct deposit after that. So first thing, you click billing, see it's white right there, and then you want to click manage direct deposit. So when you make a claim, money will be sent to you in like 2 to 3 days after processing. So this is super, super, super important because when something happens, you have an accident, and you're making a claim, you need your money like now. You need it yesterday. You don't want to be waiting weeks for that check to get there, because what could happen? It could get lost in the mail. Say the address wasn't updated and it gets sent to your old address, and then we have to cancel that check, update your address, and resend the check. So let's not go through that whole situation, because I've done that multiple times and it's not fun. So set up your direct deposit is going to be the first thing you do after registering. Once you click on manage direct deposit, it'll tell you if you have completed it or not. If you have not completed it, you just scroll down to the bottom here, and then you can hit the next button or continue, and it's gonna ask you to enter your bank routing number and checking account number. And then after you've completed it, it takes you back to this page, and it'll be green and it'll say complete. So that's how you know that you set up your direct deposit. So these are two different programs, the direct deposit versus Aflac Always. And at this point in time, I believe that it still needs to be done separate. Like, just because you set up your direct deposit doesn't mean that your Aflac Always is already set up. So direct deposit is when you have a claim and Aflac needs to send you cash. If you do not have direct deposit set up, they're going to mail you the check, right? And we just went over how that's not a good idea, because it just creates headaches down the road. So the Aflac Always is a backup method, a backup payment method. So you probably started this coverage through your job, And the way that you would pay for it is through paycheck deduction. The money for the plans would just come out of your paycheck. You wouldn't have to worry about it, right? So when you decide not to work there anymore, like change jobs or like change careers or you retire, you're able to keep these plans at the exact same rate that you had them before, and it's the exact same policy. So having that Aflac always set up will automatically switch your payment method from your check from your employer. It'll switch it over to your checking account to withdraw from your checking account. So when you leave your job, there's no gap in coverage. It just switches over. And sometimes if you've had the policy for at least 6 months or more, during that transition, you have a few months that Aflac won't charge you, although they'll waive that period if it's been a few months or so. So Aflac always can either be accessed through like the main page here. So like on mine, I logged in and it showed enroll in Aflac Always. You could just click there. Or if that doesn't show up for some reason, if it's not there anymore, if you go up here to My Account on the top right and you click that and it's going to say Manage Account. You're going to click Manage Account. And then there's going to be two columns. On the right column, the third box down is the Aflac Always. Make sure your coverage is protected if there's a change in your employment. Once you click that, policies that are eligible will show you. You click enroll, and then you can start the enrollment process from there. And then if you have more than one policy, you can choose which ones make sense to keep after you leave your job. You can also choose which day of the month that you would like your payment to be withdrawn. You can decide if you'd like to pay it monthly or if you like to pay it quarterly. Make sure to have your bank routing number and your checking account number ready to enter here. All right, so that's the end there. Make sure to leave some comments if you have any questions on anything that we went over today. And I'm going to put up a QR code here. And when you scan the QR code, instead of showing this logo, it's going to show like the Aflac website at the top, and then it's going to say like let's connect with each other, something like that. And then you put in your first and last name, your telephone number, your date of birth, and then in this box where it says accident, life, dental, in there put what questions you have or what you need help with. If you need help with a claim, if you need help transferring your policy to your checking account, if you need help reactivating a policy, put that in there as well. This goes directly to me. It doesn't go anywhere else, just directly to my cell phone. It's not like a promotional thing at all. It's just a way for us to connect with each other. So there's the QR code. Let me make sure that it works. Just hold your phone up, your camera, and then when you hold your camera up, there should be a little box that pops up where you click, and it's going to look just like that. Just like that. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much for your attention today, and ask me for some help on anything regarding Aflac. Shoot me an email, leave a comment, give me a call. Thanks so much. Have a beautiful day.